This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Good morning, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And today, Grace is going to bear witness to another bear tail spin. Another bear tail spin.
Bear tail spin.
In our new show. Not even new anymore. Yeah, I think we're halfway through now. TaleSpin. Yep. So, Grace, hopefully yours is as wild and crazy as of a ride as last week's was. So go on and take us where we want to go.
I don't know if we want to. Actually, we don't want to go here.
Okay, don't take us there. Today. Take us where we don't want to go. Against our will.
That I can do. Against everybody's will.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alexis, I really think our episodes of TaleSpin, starting with yours last week, really escalated and took like a turn for being like, oh, just this silly little Disney show with, some commentary onto capitalism, to like basically murder. Your entire last episode was about
the whole episode. Yeah.
So
nonstop.
Things continue to escalate in unexpected ways. And Alexis, did you know that there are 2 banned episodes of TaleSpin that are not on Disney Plus?
2? I feel like I heard 1, but not 2. Oh,
there
boy.
Are 2. The first was taken off the air due to, classic Disney 90s, some racist depiction in animations. And the second, it happens a lot. In fact, in a lot of the shows we do.
As we've covered, throughout the years.
A lot of them. Pre-2000s, you can expect it pretty much every season of any of our shows. And the second was taken off the air, apparently due to some implications of terrorism.
Oh, that's the one I heard of. Yeah. That's the one I heard of. I didn't know about the racist one, though.
Yes. But are we surprised?
Wait, which one are you doing? Are you doing one of these 2 banned episodes? Did you find it?
I am not doing these episodes.
That's okay.
But I am shocked that the episode I'm doing today was not also banned.
Was that on the list, that there was not 3? This banning did not happen thrice.
Thrice. This should have been the 3rd time is the charm. Take it off the air. Because, it's not in the sense of, I don't know, being offended while watching. But if the threshold reminds us of terrorism, then this would meet that threshold too. So we're going to go through it. You're going to see the vibe and say, shouldn't this maybe been reconsidered for...
How did that one not reach the level?
Yes. Yeah.
What's the bar?
Yeah, exactly. Basically, if you're going to ban one that alludes to terrorism, this, I think, would also meet that same threshold. And thus, they were cherry picking here. We can talk about it at the end.
Okay, so cool. I'm intrigued.
I am covering season 1, episode 41 of TaleSpin, entitled Gruel and Unusual Punishment.
Nice. Okay, well, I'm getting Guantanamo vibes already. So
just put a very torturous pin in that, if you will.
Grab it from my desk here.
Because, first let's discuss the reference of this name. A play on cruel and unusual punishment, a common law phrase in various places in the U.S., such as one of the amendments of the Constitution, the 8th Amendment, perhaps, one would say, which states...
One
might exactly cite, excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. And yes, you know us, listeners, viewers, we're, quote unquote, not a legal or political podcast most of the time.
No, even though we have a lawyer and a political advocacy policy professional.
We've been known time to time to dip a toe here or there in these topics.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into the vague wording of that, which leaves things open to interpretation.
This is the Supreme Court
This is the Supreme Court, such as the U.S., DOD, law enforcement, military. But it does set a really good tone for today's episode, which, yes, you alluded to, immediately has some stark implications. So,
okay.
We start off with Blue looking for a snack in the office, like their employees' lounge at Hire for Hire. And he hears Becky coming down the stairs. When he hears her, he quickly scarfs down some sandwiches, like as fast as possible. And she turns the corner into the kitchen employees' lounge area, wearing this long, poofy white and pink gown. She is twirling in it. She's feeling herself. And she's saying that she wanted to show him the dress that she was planning on wearing to the pilot's ball this weekend.
Oh.
Will they, won't they? She's Blue's date to the pilot's ball.
This week it looks like they will.
Ooh, will they? And he doesn't respond because he's still munching down the sandwich. And when Becky realizes this, that he's like trying to swallow that food really fast, she, we immediately go back to won't they? Because she says, "Are you eating again, Blue? Such a shame that I can only go to the ball with a pilot, a plump pilot."
Ooh.
So that's right, folks.
She says it out of love. She wants him to get his life together. In the meanest, rudest way possible.
Not healthy.
Yeah.
This is filled with tough love.
Yeah.
Or that's what Disney liked to call it in the 90s, because here's another reason why I was like, wow, this episode inappropriate. Full of classic 90s fat shaming. This is going to be a theme throughout this episode, folks. We don't endorse it. He's a bear. Fat means healthy. He's ready for the winter.
Bear.
He's a slump bear. Have you guys never participated in the annual National Park Service Fat Bear Week bracket, where you literally vote on the fattest bears preparing for hibernation? Yeah. It's a real thing. It's incredible. Baloo could be part of it. You know what?
At first, I didn't know you were going to. We do. At first, I didn't know you were going to bring up the bracket. I thought you were just going to stop at the annual bear thing, like where people dress up as bears or something. I was like, this is news to me. I did not know NPS did this. The bracket I have heard of, though. That's funny.
Yes. Anyways. Fat Bear Week, very important week in my life.
Yeah, Baloo is winning that this year. We're getting him back on the map.
Yes, we love this.
Let's illegally get a sloth bear in one of our U.S. national parks so that we can.
Up in Alaska. Yeah. Let's introduce a new species in there, baby. Let's go.
We got this. Yeah, fuck it up.
He's a plant. So at this, Becky sighs and is like, well, at least, even though you're fat, you're going to wear a tuxedo, and everyone looks good in a tuxedo, which, true. Get over it, Becky. He is healthily plump as a bear. And yes, everyone looks good in a tux. And she says, you do have one, right, Baloo? And he swallows his snack and is like, yeah, girl. I got one. Yeah. I won't let you down.
It's a Canadian tuxedo.
You know what, Alexis? It's worse. He goes upstairs. Just kidding. I always wear a Canadian tuxedo.
I'm going to say it. Yeah.
But yes, he, before he goes upstairs to go try on his tux, Becky says, okay, great. I believe you, Blue. You have a tux, but you'll shed a few pounds in the next couple of days, right? Come on, girl. But Blue says, cross my heart and hope to diet. Yes, I'll do it for you, girly pop. Cute. Yes. So, which is, the theme of the 90s, cross my heart and hope to diet. So,
yes.
Baloo goes upstairs with Kit to try on his old tuxedo, which he brings out from, a big chest box, and it's covered in holes. It's got dust. It's been eaten by those moths. There's no protection in there. He has to really tries to put it on really stretched to even get one button shut, which when he finally does, it of course just flies off of what he's wearing. And he's distraught because Baloo is hoping, will they? Because he says that if he can't fit in this tux, Becky's going to find another date to the ball.
Ooh.
High stakes.
Never mind. High stakes.
What?
Yep. Nothing. No. There's like 3 jokes rattling in my brain, but I'm just gonna let you keep
Some
going.
more fat shaming? Come on, don't stoop to the 90s Disney level.
No, no. The first one was, I'll just say one of the two and then you can keep going. The suit doesn't fit and he like pulls it out of the box and he looks at Kit like, man, I haven't worn this since Mowgli's 5th birthday party. And Kit's like, who? And Baloo's like, never mind.
My other son. I mean,
Yeah.
never mind.
Never mind.
Back in my day,
Like
kid.
in a breaking the fourth wall moment or something. Like,
The
anyways,
one son I
sorry.
ever loved. I mean,
I mean, no, never mind. I don't.
I
Who's
guess I should lose
Mowgli?
some weight.
Yes.
So Kit has a bright idea because Baloo again is like fully distraught. He's like sitting down on the chest, just like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna shed this weight to fit in the tux? Otherwise, Becky's gonna leave me. Oh God, no. They're like, this was gonna be a perfect weekend together, and now it's ruined because I have a little chunk. But Kit, I know
Find a good
they got
tailor.
a lot of image. They've never heard of it here in Cape Suzette, apparently. Never heard of them. But actually, funny you should say Taylor, because Kit has a bright idea, telling Baloo that he should go to the Elizabeth Taper Center, which is a play probably on Elizabeth Taylor, who went multiple times to the Betty Ford Rehab Center. So, like, I think that was their connection there. Like, that's some rehab.
That's your one-liner on Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. You heard
that's all
That's all we need to know about her.
Too much of an icon. She can't
you guys
touched.
Probably know.
She can't be touched. Not by a peasant like me.
No.
But Baloo's like, I've heard of this place. Isn't that where all of the celebrities go on quote unquote vacation and come back looking really slim and fit?
Got it. Okay, now I see why you made that connection. I was wow, Grace, of all the things to bring up about her, this is what you draw.
Yes, this is why, because it's basically saying, yes, this is like a rehab center, weight loss camp situation. And so Baloo is like, yeah, this will work. I'll go to the camp for a couple of days, shed some pounds, come back looking buff, beautiful, ready to fall in love. So Baloo decides to go and he asks Wildcat and Kit to drop him off, but he says, don't tell Becky. I want it to be a surprise. I'm going to come back looking svelte. It's going to be great. Don't tell her. And he needs Wildcat and Kit to drop him off because the weight loss camp, the rehab center, is located out on like an isolated island because celebrities love their privacy. Yeah. So it's like
paparazzi can't get there.
They got to work real hard.
Yeah.
So Kit and Wildcat say no probs. So Wildcat is flying. Kit and Wildcat are flying while like Baloo is getting ready, getting his workout gear together. He's ready to go. And they're looking at the map and are like pointing out like, okay, cool. This like chain of islands is here. This like weight loss camp is here. But, Wildcat, he's well-intentioned. He's full of love. As we saw in our last episode, he's there for vibes. Yeah. Sometimes vibes make you a little dumb, That's too much your focus.
Sometimes you're too focused on the vibes and not too much on the logic.
And reading a map correctly, perhaps. But what vibes do give you sometimes is a lot of confidence,
Oh, yeah.
When you feel good, when the vibes are right, nothing can
the
stop
vibes
you.
Won't lie to me. The vibes never lie.
Vibes never lie. So, yes, Wildcat is like, oh, okay, I found the island, the weight loss camp, and they kind of like hover Baloo over it, and Baloo parachutes out down onto the island. Classic. Yeah, that's how they keep the paparazzi out of here. They're like,
we don't want to be
land.
We have to do this on a remote island so that we can kind of keep things low key, says Baloo as he parachutes into this tropical resort. Yeah.
Jumps out of the plane. Yeah, real low key. And Wildcat's like, yeah, man.
See you, dude.
Yeah. So as Baloo lands on this island, he at first doesn't see any other signs of like people or the actual camp or anything. But Blue, also there for the vibes. He goes with the flow. He's not really bothered. He starts strolling through the jungle hilariously because you mentioned Mowgli. He he finds a river. He hops right in that river, floats on his back with some little fruit on his belly,
like
just like in the Jungle Book Baloo. So yeah, it's on his mind.
Memories.
Clearly.
He's like, don't I? Didn't I?
This is
nah.
I see a river, and this just feels right.
Right.
Bare necessities, Mother Nature's necessities. What?
What?
How?
Who made up that song? Where have I heard that song before?
It stirs in my bones. But I mean, at this point, he's like, weight loss camp rocks. Like, this is great. I'm coming here more often.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm
never not losing weight.
Yeah, exactly. But eventually, as he's again floating down this river, he kind of comes up to shore and he finally does run into other people from this camp. And they're a bunch of like various sized, for some reason, blue warthogs. They're all warthogs at this camp. So
great. He's had good experiences with those in recent episodes.
Yeah, exactly. He's not immediately traumatized.
Yeah.
So there's a main warthog wearing like, oddly enough, he's like in this like tan uniform. He's got a sturdy hat. I think like a monocle maybe. And he's in the back, like standing in a Jeep. There's another warthog driving in a similar like tan fit, yelling commands through a megaphone.
I like it. We're using a megaphone.
Megaphone, because you yell through it.
Yeah.
Yelling commands to the warthogs who are all jogging behind the Jeep. So presumably they're all going for a little run here.
Yeah, just the run. Casual run.
A casual run. It is
among casual warthogs. True.
Yes. So, they're all jogging in this line. They're wearing matching blue like sweatsuits, which like is kind of to Blue's delight. He loves to be comfy, cozy, and lazy. So sweatsuit seems great. And they're clearly like weight training. They're carrying weights in their arms. And so Blue is like, this is great. Like, I found the gang and they're all ready. I can just hop on into this line. Yeah. So he jumps out of the river and runs up to like the, camp members in blue. And he runs up specifically to a warthog who's very short, very, very skinny, kind of looks older. He's got like disheveled white hair and like a kind of a thick white mustache, who like understandably is very startled to see Blue, a giant bear, stumble out of the woods at him. And Baloo takes one look at the man, is like, who like kind of low-key looks like a little like emaciated, like his cheeks are very gaunt. But Baloo is like, this camp is working so well. Look how skinny you are. You look great. I can see your cheekbones because they're protruding because your skin is sagging off, basically. Like, I love this.
We love good high cheekbones. So photogenic.
Exactly. So Baloo starts to introduce himself to the warthog, saying, hi, I'm Baloo. I'm the best pilot in the world, and I'm here to shed some weight so I can fit into this tux. And before, like, this little guy can introduce himself, although he's like, you're a pilot, like, what are you doing here? One of the warthogs not in blue, there was one at, like, kind of the end of the line, like, following up the line, who's in maroon, yells at Baloo to basically fall in line and get jogging as well. And Baloo is like, ooh, okay, we're hopping right to it. Like, I don't even have to get my sweatsuit yet. Like, time to, you better work, is basically what he's saying here.
Yeah.
So, right now, speaking of vibes, the vibe is good. And like,
okay,
I will say, weight loss camps, I'm pretty sure, are like horrible and like abusive. So I'm worried for everyone, like the long term. But like,
for sure,
health nuts are going to health nut. We'll see what happens. They all seem, it seems to be working for most of these people here, at least.
Okay.
So they head back to like base camp where everyone, got their dorms and like the mess hall and that kind of stuff. And it's a flat area. And, we know this is the base camp area because it does have kind of like a wall surrounding it, presumably to keep like scary jungle creatures out.
Yeah. Fair.
Baloo is given his blue uniform, his
Ooh, good.
sweatsuit.
He's one of
Yes.
them.
Yes,
Nice.
exactly. Now he can fit in.
Yeah.
The one from before, the warthog from before who had the megaphone, we see him again. He's got like a big hat on now, and he gives Baloo the rule book of the camp.
Mm.
While the warthog that was like in maroon, who like had been again like following up the jogging line, gives Baloo basically like an ankle weight to start wearing. Although
Okay.
some might call it a ball and chain, but Baloo is like, this is an ankle weight and a medicine ball. And so
A
Baloo
medicine ball,
immediately,
is the medicine ball just a normal medicine ball, or is it like a metal, iron,
well,
some sort of
the medicine
um
ball is connected to the chain, which is connected to his ankle.
got you.
So
Got you.
yeah, it's like it's
Got
really
you.
heavy.
It's new age technology, new age weight loss technology. There's
Yeah,
still, yeah.
yes. It might
Okay.
be a little
Wait,
rusty, but it's okay.
that's cool. Yeah, it builds up your immune system.
Yeah,
So did you say that all of the animals there other than Baloo are warthogs, or it's only
yep,
the people like yelling instructions? So it's
everyone.
all warthogs. Gotcha. Okay, so an
Yeah.
island of warthogs. Gotcha.
Yes, an
Okay.
island of warthogs, an
Okay.
isolated island of warthogs that's very hard
Well,
to get to.
they're definitely losing weight on that island. I don't know if
They
it's
are
the way Baloo
lose
wants
weight.
to, but yeah. Okay.
If Blue's gaining weight, he's going to eat all these warthogs if he had his choice, but
Yeah.
tis not to be. Because Baloo then is like, oh, okay, like let's get started. Oh, you like pass the medicine ball to people. And
Uh-oh.
so the guy with the megaphone who had passed him or given him the rule book, Baloo is like, let me pass you the medicine ball. We can get started. You can be my coach. Like, let's go. Let's do
Yeah.
this thing. And so he tosses it at him. And I did forget to mention that this tan uniform he's wearing also has like very large red and like tasseled kind of shoulder things. And he has a lot of medals on. And
Mm.
we did just
Mm-hmm.
learn as the medicine ball gets thrown at him that his name is
Mm-hmm.
Colonel Slammer. So
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Baloo throws the
Mm.
medicine ball, if you will, at Colonel
Mm.
Slammer and it knocks him over. So naturally, the other warthogs in tan and maroon all tackle Baloo immediately
Mm.
um,
Like
and
you
drag
hit
him
our camp
away.
supervisor.
You hit the camp counselor, the
Yeah.
number one camp counselor. So, that's a little awkward. That's a bad first impression at your
Yeah.
camp counselor, your head counselor.
Yeah.
So we cut back with them in front of kind of a small building up against the wall surrounding the camp, which I forgot to mention too. The wall is probably like 50 to 70 feet high and fully made of
Oh,
bricks and might
yeah.
have some chicken wire on top of it.
Okay.
So
Yeah. You don't want
yeah,
people to escape weight loss camp
no, no,
or
no,
to
no.
break
They'll
in. They've got to
just,
pay.
yeah,
Paying
that's the
members
main thing.
only.
You
Yeah.
gotta pay. You can't just
You can't
waltz
just
on. You
sneak
can't just
in.
parachute in.
Yeah.
You gotta pay. So we join them at this small building. It's kind of like almost like chicken coop sized. It's got a metal roof. It's got a heavy door. And
Okay.
Baloo is in front of it with guards, if you will, camp counselor guards, keep everyone
Yeah,
at bay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Counselors, guards.
Yeah.
Just
Again, they're
common
keeping
mix up.
people out. You got to keep this
Yes.
protect. They're celebrities. You can't have the paparazzi showing up.
Right.
It's like
Right.
bodyguards for all these celebrities.
Exactly.
And Colonel Slammer is explaining that when the sun hits this, you know, box, if you will, it can reach
Okay.
over 200 degrees. And
Oh.
Baloo says,
Huh.
a sauna,
Oh
get
yeah.
me
Okay.
in there. So
Hmm.
he's ready to sweat this weight out. He jumps right in to this sauna, this
Hmm.
sweat box, perhaps this hot box. Some
Hot
folks
box,
in
perhaps. Yeah.
certain
And not the good kind.
industries, no, not the kind Baloo thinks is about to happen.
No.
Hops on in there, and we watch, yes, Baloo sweat and sweat and sweat as he is locked inside.
Ah,
The small
wow.
thermometer in there literally explodes from the heat.
Ooh.
Um,
Okay. Well, he's losing weight.
He is losing weight, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And when he gets out, Baloo's stoked and probably a little slap happy and high from all the heat and dehydration.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'd probably sweat out like 10 pounds already. Like that was incredible. And he's taken post sauna box, hot box, sweat box, straight to Colonel Slammer's office, who looks sternly at him and says he hopes that Baloo gained something during this period of isolation. And Baloo is like, gained something? I'm here to lose something. This weight. Yeah. So Colonel Slammer is a little mixed up, according to Baloo. But Colonel Slammer thinks Baloo's a funny guy, just trying to be funny, and tells him to shut his yap. And he points to a bike in the office that's hooked up to it's like a stationary bike.
Okay.
That's hooked up to like a bunch of like, I don't know, mechanical instruments. And essentially like, if you pedal the bike, it'll turn the fan that's like in this office.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Great.
So Baloo is like,
so manual labor,
no, it's a spin class.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, this is early spin classes. Before whatever the famous spin
Orange
bike
Theory.
is called. Orange Theory.
Peloton.
Yeah, before Peloton. This is Baraton, if you will.
When you had to go Baraton. When you had to actually go to a place in person and not do it from your home.
Exactly. The good old days. So, yes. So it's Baloo hops on, starts biking. He's excited to, get to this next phase of the workout. Yes, the fan is spinning, and the Colonel is yelling at Baloo to go faster, really get that cool air flow in here. We're in the fucking jungle. It's hot. It's humid. So he watches Baloo do this, and the Colonel kind of nods and kicks back a little bit, puts his head back, kicks his feet up, and goes, it's tiring to be so cruel and sadistic.
He says that. Wow. At least he's honest with himself and he's self-aware.
At least someone's honest here, because Baloo ain't. He's got some over his eyes here. So that night, in the middle of the night, we see that very skinny white-haired warthog from earlier sneaking around the camp. He's slipping past the guards. He's carrying his medicine ball and ankle weight, and ensuring that no one's following. They're really dedicated,
They are.
Making sure no one's following him. He's like peeking around every corner.
Yeah,
and we
paparazzi.
see him.
Maybe they found their way on the island.
You can never be too sure, when you're that famous.
I feel like also we're letting this go to the point of like Shutter Island madness. Oh no, okay, I'll put a pin in that. Keep going. Okay.
Just keep in mind, people are getting isolated here. They're going in sweat boxes, saunas. Saunas. Going in saunas.
Yeah. Yes. The camp counselor is just hangry and it's hot here. He just needs those fans going. It's fine.
Isolation is just a trendy workout. You gotta isolate the mind to isolate the body.
Exactly. It's a spiritual experience.
Exactly. Head to toe here. So, and we do see him, we don't see what he does in there, but we do see him slip into the Colonel's office where Baloo had been biking. Okay. And we cut to the next morning where the Colonel had fallen asleep at his desk, and he wakes up sweating, and he's sweating because the fan is no longer going.
Did he expect Baloo to do it all night?
He did. And we see Baloo, he's snoozing on that bike. He's slumped over. He's tired. He hasn't even had a snack yet. And he's been there this whole time.
Oh, wow.
But very quickly, the Colonel, of course, one, he's pissed at Baloo. But two, Colonel Counselor here, if you will, also realizes the fan is no longer going because the fan on the ceiling is gone. It has been stolen entirely. It's just wires up there now.
Okay. Yikes.
So, of course, who is to blame but the only other person here who is being punished? Getting a good workout.
Just getting,
by biking.
Losing weight.
They assume, yes, Baloo stole it. And they take him right back to the sauna for his morning sweat and isolation.
Okay.
Routine. Good. It's becoming a routine for Baloo.
Yeah.
So this time when Blue gets out, he's finally allowed to go to the mess hall to eat.
Good.
And so,
worried.
Yeah, especially with Blue, when that bear gets hangry, things go very poorly.
Very bad. Yeah.
Yes. And especially when you're surrounded by possible snacks if you're a bear, very dangerous
Could
for
get
everyone
violent.
here. Yes, violent. So he notices as he walks into the mess hall that skinny white-haired warthog from before. So he saddles up to him because he's like, oh, this is someone who I've spoken to. This could be, my friend in the mess hall. When you enter a mess hall for the first time, you really got to pick, maybe your confidant, your ally, your gang, perhaps, is important to establish early at camp,
I imagine it's like that scene in Mean Girls when they go in the cafeteria and they show all the different cliques at a warthog prison camp, or a warthog weight loss camp.
A weight loss, camp counts. He picks his gang. Protector. Friend.
Who has the most shivs? That's where I want to sit.
Who looks like they could protect me? Do friendship bracelets at work.
Friendship bracelets, not shivs.
No.
Sharp chopsticks. I need to learn how to use chopsticks.
Whittling wood.
Yeah, whittling.
Together.
Yeah. Yes. Making whistles. Yeah.
Yes. So, yes, he goes and sits down next to him. He's obviously Blue over the moon about the chance to finally freaking eat. He's been sweating and biking for a day straight. And so he gets a bowl put in front of him and it's rising. The steam is rising up. He is licking his chops. He is so excited. But when he looks into the bowl, it's just that. It's just hot steam. And no food.
What?
And Baloo is about to Hulk out. Not even water, just steam. Baloo's about to Hulk out and fucking riggedy wreck this place.
Yeah.
Luckily, the tiny little warthog next to him sees this rage building and it says, no, you must calm down because we have another German here, apparently.
Yay.
We love a German. Well, it's like this weird German-Russian accent. It's a vague Germanic Eastern European accent, I would say.
They don't know exactly which prisoners of war they're trying to make.
Or whatever they might be.
Or of weight loss. Prisoners of weight loss. Sorry.
Yes, prisoners of weight loss. Celebrities of weight loss.
POWs.
Prisoners of weight, their own weight. They're kept in their own personal prison from all the weight they have. But yes, he basically tells Baloo to stop complaining. This is as good as it gets. Last week it was cold steam. At least this week's is hot.
Cold steam.
I don't know how it works either.
Okay, keep moving.
Dry ice? Coming up? It's unclear.
Which is still not cold. But anyway, okay.
Right. But again, that's why this is better, because it's at least hot steam, which is a real thing.
Good. Okay.
And before that, he tells Blue, and thank God it's not this, the worst possible of the food options. It was gruel, and nobody wants gruel. And Baloo was like, I want some gruel.
Anything
I would love some gruel.
Yeah, I just got here. The steam isn't doing it for me, guys.
Yeah, I know I need to lose weight, but damn, come on, give me little cows. Yeah. And so Baloo brings his bowl up to the front and literally says, please, sir, I want some more. Our favorite Oliver Twist moment. We love here. It, yes. And Colonel Slammer laughs in his face. And instead of giving him anything, he sprays hot steam directly into Baloo's face, sending him stumbling backwards and really his face and screaming. So,
holy crap.
At this point, Baloo has kind of had it. He is like, I am hangry. I am now burning. I've got third-degree burns now.
On my face, no less.
Yeah, on my face, no less. I'm fucking out of here. Yeah, I'm gone. Goodbye. I'm leaving. And everyone in the mess hall, you could hear a pin drop. Perhaps one of the pins that you've had in so far this episode.
I'll take it out.
Takes it out and
ding,
ding, drops it because Colonel Slammer laughs and says, nobody ever leaves our dear Bedeviled Island maximum security prison.
Bedeviled.
Which, yes.
Wow.
As we've
Maximum security
assumed,
prison. Great.
Baloo is not at weight loss camp, if you couldn't tell. Wildcat
We tried
to bury that lead. Just like all those buried prisoners out back, but could only do so much. Yes, Wildcat accidentally dropped him off at a maximum security prison / work camp instead of a weight loss camp.
Damn, Wildcat, you gotta read those.
Wildcat, you're wild.
You're wild for this, Wildcat.
Yeah. Damn, Wildcat. So here, folks, let's pause for a moment to talk a little more in depth that, again, like, I don't love banning episodes of things. Yeah. But if you were like, it's 1990 and we're going to ban an episode depicting terrorism, can't you also maybe think about banning episodes that are
depicting torture?
Yeah, and I'll get into it slightly more here. But basically referencing concentration camps, like Nazi prison camps.
Yeah.
Because the scenes throughout this episode are actually almost like direct mirrors of an old show called Hogan's Heroes.
Which oh my God, yeah.
A fictional series about American prisoners of war at the Nazi-run Stalag, I don't know how to say it, 13 camp in Germany. To the point where Colonel Slammer is designed to look like one of the head Nazi officers in the show, down to the monocle and a nameplay of Colonel Clink, aka Colonel Slammer, Clink and Slammer, both the same names for prison.
Oh, nice. Good pick up there.
Yeah. Even his like uniform.
The colors, as you described it, were less than great.
Yes, were a less than great depiction. He almost is giving like, a Mussolini vibe, perhaps like an enormous hat.
Yeah, and when you said the accent of the prisoner too, I was like, are they going German or Russian? Yeah.
Funny you should mention that because our imprisoned little skinny warthog, who maybe sounds
please don't say his name,
a little more Russian as he's a POW. We'll learn a little bit later about him, but he may or may not be a reference to a specific Russian communist. That we'll get into in a little bit, who the Germans at the time weren't fans perhaps of the Russians either.
Love to see it.
They weren't stoked, but they were stoked to keep them also in POW camps. So
wow,
of course.
Yeah, I think the threshold is how many parent advocacy groups send you angry letters and threaten to boycott for a specific episode. Apparently they didn't make it to this one because
the Cold War was still, fizzling out a little bit.
I want to do a side-by-side watch of these three, of this episode and the two that were actually canceled, to be like, how much more ridiculous are the canceled episodes? Because, this isn't great.
This isn't great, especially, we've got the emaciated inmates who are all skin and bones, are clearly tortured, being put into solitary confinement, like sweat boxes, being starved, eating only steam. And also for this outburst from Baloo, they lead him to be against the brick wall and put a blindfold on him and all line up with cannons and guns and tell him he's about to be executed. Literally by a firing squad is what they say in this show.
They say the words. That's
you insane. Are about to be executed by a firing squad is verbatim the quote.
And Baloo's like, well, how am I going to lose weight? I guess maybe a limb will come off. And that's like, what?
Will that be better?
Like, at what point does he realize that...
At this point, he does. When they say you're about to be executed by a firing squad, it does click in a little more. And Baloo is indeed screaming for help and begging, can I at least get a last meal request, a final meal? Come on, give me something here.
Something, please.
Yeah, anything. So the Colonel Slammer, of course, says no to this and instead yells, fire. In which all of the guards light their cannons and Oh, I forgot to mention too that the guards dressed in maroon also carry around bayonets the entire time. So yes, they also have those for I guess stabbing reasons.
Wait,
they're on the end of rifles.
Whatever. Okay.
Situation. There's a lot of time periods happening. But anyways, he says fire, and they all like light the cannons and stuff to execute Baloo, who's blindfolded against this wall. Only nothing happens.
Okay.
And they realize, and the colonel starts laying into, and probably I would assume putting into a gas chamber at some point in time, the guards, because he realizes there's no gunpowder in any of the cannons.
Oh.
And he's pissed because it doesn't seem like this is the first time they haven't had gunpowder when they're doing a firing squad execution. This has happened multiple times. And it's not because they...
Come on, guys.
But it's not because they didn't forget, or they didn't forget to load it. It's because they're out. They thought they had it in there. And it's gone.
They're so violent that they keep going through it all in this military installation. They keep exhausting all of the gunpowder.
And it's an isolated island. It takes so much work to get it delivered, you know?
Yeah, that's true. It's almost like you think you might want to use it a little more sparingly.
No, part of the warthogs here are about excess, and the other ones are about having absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
How it goes sometimes.
The haves and the have-nots. Tale of Two Cities. Isn't that also Dickens? Another Dickens?
Yeah, probably.
I think it is.
Dollar twist.
If I'm right, tell me in the comments. If not, keep it moving.
Keep it quiet. So pissed, the colonel's yelling at everyone and yells at Baloo and says, "It's against the rules to not die at your own execution. You're getting another 20 years for this." And I will say throughout this episode, even before, it's like, "Hi, you're in a prison camp." He just keeps adding more years onto everybody's life sentences, like
for everything.
Nonstop. Yeah. You didn't die when you were supposed to. 20 more years.
20 more. Great.
Yep. And Baloo is like, "Okay, but I have a party to get to on Saturday.
That's right.
Can we wrap it up, perhaps?
I'll come back after the party, but can I get like a waiver to leave?"
Can I have a quick release situation? But hearing the word Saturday, the colonel realizes that's tomorrow. And thank God, that's when the next shipment of gunpowder is coming in. So no, you can't get released tomorrow because, quote, "that's the day you'll die," unquote.
Okay. I mean, he'll get a permanent release tomorrow.
Hope you're ready to haunt that party you're going to. That's the only way you're getting out of here, buddy.
You're going,
So back at Cape Suzette, Wildcat is stepping in to help hire for hire, do some deliveries. Him and Kit are loading up like their cargo delivery, which is like vats and vats and vats of glue. I don't know. They're like delivering it to like schools everywhere, elementary craft schools, Michael's stores everywhere, whatever it might be. But after it's all loaded, Kit gets out the map to see where they're headed for it. And as they're looking, they realize like, oh, we have to go like near all these islands that we were just at the other day. And Wildcat points out on the map and is like, "Oh yeah, that's where we dropped off Baloo, like on this island right here. I wonder if we can go visit him." And Kit is like, "Wait, which island did you just point to? This one, not that island?" And Wildcat's like, "Yeah, why?" And Kit, who can read a map as a 10-year-old, is like, "Yeah, that's a Supermax prison, bro." Like, yeah, this is not good.
It's not a weight loss island. I mean, it is a weight loss island, but not for good reason.
Yeah.
Not the therapeutic
weight loss
kind.
Until you completely disappear.
Yeah.
Lose your entire being, perhaps.
Yes.
Lose everything.
Well, so, at least one of these two individuals knows how to read a map. The 10-year-old.
Yeah. They would never find Baloo again. So Wildcat is like, we should probably do something about that.
Like, the vibes are telling me maybe we should do something.
Ooh, Kit, bad vibes, bro. You're giving bad vibes, man.
I don't know, man. Kind of ruining the vibe. Yeah.
So
you're bringing me bad news, and I don't like that,
man. You should probably do something about this, Kit.
Yeah.
But back at the prison camp, Baloo is put on work duty where he is in a rock quarry, breaking down rocks, of course, with his ball and chain still attached and simply just a hammer to start hammering away at these rocks.
Mm-hmm.
But even for a bear so big and presumably strong, because he's a bear, he can't even get like a single pebble to like break off of whatever type of rock they're like mining for here. But also on work duty today is our skinny little white-haired, perhaps Russian, Eastern European, maybe communist, I don't know, warthog.
We don't know. Yeah.
IDK. And he has like a little tiny itsy bitsy hammer. And we see him like going to these huge boulders that are bigger than Baloo and kind of feeling around on them with his hands, stepping back and examining them, putting his ear up to them and listening, and then very precisely taking that little hammer and just dink, hitting it once, and the entire boulder is like shattering all around.
Oh man,
him.
Get this guy down to South Africa or something. Holy crap.
No, he's already at a POW camp.
Yeah.
The accents will be different. What does it matter at that point?
Yeah.
You know? So Baloo walks over and is like, you got to teach me how to do this. You got to teach me how to do this right, buddy. Like, you are working smarter, not harder, which is a thing I, Baloo, have never done in my life. Help me out. So the warthog is like, okay, well, you have to be patient. You have to know exactly where to hit to make the most impact. Like small hits can make enormous impacts if you are patient and know how to do it correctly and plan correctly. And so he shows Baloo again on another boulder. And Baloo is like, you seem like way too smart to be a prisoner here. Like, what's a smart guy like you doing here?
Yeah,
like,
what crime did you commit?
Yeah, how'd you end up here, basically? And when he asks that, the skinny little warthog starts to tear up and basically like reveals to Baloo, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, they've been accusing me of things left and right. When I was taken away, it broke my mother's heart. Like, tomorrow's her birthday, and I don't know if she's going to live past it because, like, we don't know what I'm being accused of, and I've been here for years now. So, like,
what the
fine not to ban this episode. It's fine.
It's fine to depict like pure fascism. What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah. Baloo is like, isn't that against the law to lock up an innocent person? And literally says that. As this warthog is
you precious little boy.
Yeah, he's like sobbing in Baloo's arms.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's why it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's kind of a whole war going on about it right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like illegal everywhere and a problem everywhere. Yes. Wow. And so Baloo is like, I wish there was some way I could help you. Like, I also kind of wound up here innocently. It's a complicated story.
Yeah, my loved ones miss me too.
I also have a tragic, traumatic, my home was raided as my village was taken over and I was carted away because I was the only male. Yeah, definitely. I
also have no clue if my mother will live to her birthday tomorrow.
Exactly.
I've never met her. I don't know.
I don't know who she is.
Wow. This is wild. Okay. Okay.
Yes. And as Baloo is like, I gotta help you somehow. Like, there's gotta be something I can do. Gotta prove your innocence. Like, what can we do? And the little warthog says, well, there is something you could help me with, but it's really risky. I've been working on it for years. I've been here for years in secret, but I've been waiting for someone like you, specifically a pilot. Because I've been stealing things throughout the camp, slowly but surely for years, to build a secret plane.
Wow.
And Baloo is like, say less. Let's go.
Say less. I know everything about planes. Yeah.
Yeah. But then even this man, this innocent, traumatized man, also fat shames Baloo. He's like, great, but listen, this is a prison plane. It's pretty janky. You got to lose like 10 pounds by tonight so we don't sink.
Oh,
like,
damn.
Sorry, bro. I thought it was just going to be me. I don't know really how to fly though. I can make it work for you, but you're gonna have to at least,
You're gonna have to
lose
10 pounds.
Up down. Like, you see my physique? Well, I think I've been working on it like this the whole time so I can fit in this plane.
Exactly.
And also because I'm tortured here. But whatever, it's worked for the better.
But whatever. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Exactly. So yes, Blue is like, no probs. I'll sweat it out, baby. I got you. Like, let's get you home to your mom and basically essentially save your mom's life and also probably yours. And also then I, Baloo, get to escape, take Becky out to the pilot's ball. This is a
impress her with my new bod.
Exactly, my new look.
They will tonight. Just kidding.
Exactly. So that night they're sneaking around camp and they head to the building where the warthog has been like able to hide this tiny plane basically behind like a bunch of like, it's like in a warehouse, like a bunch of boxes. Clearly this is like the storage area.
Okay.
But of course, as they're sneaking fucking around, guess who runs into some metal trash cans, including with his giant ball and chain? Baloo.
Baloo.
Big oaf.
That was me.
Big old oaf.
Yeah.
Setting off alarms across the camp, searchlights from the towers. Oh yeah, that also break up the walls. There's obviously huge watchtowers.
Of course.
Like flash on the searchlights. The alarms are going off. Guards are like storming out of all of like the dorms and stuff. And they both start running, Baloo and the little warthog, start running into the building where that plane is stashed. The warthog reveals it and like, yeah, it's pretty janky. Like the propeller is the fan from the colonel's office.
That's what I was guessing. Okay, great.
And he admits, he's like, oh yeah, the engine is, I've like pieced it together from all of the various like Jeeps from around camp. So like, we're really just hoping for the best here. Like,
yeah,
it'll probably
hopes and prayers are gonna get us home.
We're gonna die either way if we stay in this camp or if we try and escape. So we might as well shoot our shot.
Try to escape.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
So as famous Russian communists always say, So
they said it on the battlefield, that's for sure.
I'm true.
They fucked those Nazis up. Anyways.
Oh yeah, baby. So there's no really time to chat about the details or nuances of this machine because the warehouse that they're in is currently being shot by machine guns.
See, and that's what these soldiers are saying too. You miss all the shots you don't take. So shoot up that warehouse.
And you know what? Luckily, they're bad shots because they are at least missing all of them.
They're like stormtroopers. Good.
They 100%. But this building is starting to look like Swiss cheese. So yes, they jump into this plane and take off. Baloo is at the helm, bobbing and weaving around the gunfire. The little Russian warthog in the back is crying tears of joy and is like cheering Baloo on and like thanking Baloo. Like he can't believe that, like this is too good to be true.
Also, you're still on the island essentially. Like you're still in the island's airspace.
You still have to like go over the vast ocean in this janky plane with
rinky-dink thing.
Bear who did not lose 10 pounds in those couple hours between work duty and this escape.
I'm just happy to have hope.
I think he's just happy to be outside of the walls. Yeah, this is the first glimmer of hope he's ever had. Like, again, in years. He's like, at the very least, like, I'll die outside of the prison walls, not at the hand of these torturers.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, back at Hire for Hire, Kit and Wildcat, or not back at Hire, sorry, back at the Sea Duck, the seaplane, Kit and Wildcat pull up to the island.
Cool. Casually.
It was good timing.
Baloo didn't have to parachute in. They could have just pulled up to a dock.
If Wildcat again was in charge, I think, actually no, Wildcat wasn't flying this time, neither was Kit. Becky was because they realized they really fucked up and they went and got Becky. They were like,
Becky, we need your help. Hey, girl.
Your favorite pilot.
You're the greatest boss ever.
He was doing something so cute for you. For the ball, he was going to lose some weight. He probably did.
He did. And I bet he looks great. But Wildcat, I did a little oopsies and yeah, I dropped them off in the wrong place when I helped us go get him from this prison camp.
A foreign max security prisoner of war camp that they probably will kill us on sight if he's still alive. Could you go talk to them for us, please? Could you go talk to the manager?
You don't have time to find another date for the gala.
What are you going to do
tomorrow? So
yeah,
you kind of
so awkward. You can't even go without a pilot.
To get Baloo. You go from like buttering her up and sweet talking her to being like, look, you don't have time for another date, okay?
Look, he only went to lose weight because you fat shamed him.
You're blaming
her. If he dies, it's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
Okay, Rebecca. Okay? So you better go save him.
Jeez.
Our hands are clean.
Please.
Yeah. Please get us there. So yes, I mean, they were right because Becky, she gets shit done. She marches right onto that island, right up to those fucking front gates, and demands to be taken
she
to the manager.
A fascist exactly commander. Yeah, she's got this.
Yeah, she was part of the French resistance energy and like, I'm not gonna buck here.
Freedom fighters, let's go.
Yes, exactly. She gets taken straight to Colonel Slammer and is immediately like, Baloo is being wrongly held here. You better release him. Mm-hmm. And Colonel Slammer is like, well, small problem.
Oh.
He's not here.
Oh.
He escaped, but also escaping makes you look pretty guilty. So we also want him back because now he's broken out of this. So he better get back here.
He didn't come in a criminal, but he left one.
He left one and is now also coming back as one.
Yes. Yeah.
Double full circle here. Becky slams her fist on the desk and she's like, Baloo is not a criminal. Like, he escaped because he was being wrongheldly. He is just seeking his rightful freedom. And like, you can't hold him because he escaped, because what is he escaping from? He shouldn't be here in the first place. Like, that doesn't make sense. And Colonel Slammer is like, oh no, he's not a criminal because he escaped. He's a criminal because he just helped our most dangerous criminal escape tonight.
Most dangerous? Uh-oh.
Most dangerous criminal.
Oh no, what do I... Okay.
And we learn...
Let me hear it.
Exactly who this is. Because in the sky, we see at this exact moment, sitting behind Baloo in the shoddy airplane, now smiling to himself as he watches the camp grow smaller and smaller and smaller as they fly away, and he starts laughing and laughing at his luck. So first, I'm gonna tell you this prisoner's name and a little more about him. But I have to give a little preface first, because the name they gave him is so funny. But then after I realized the Hogan's Heroes things, I was like, let me look this up. And it's actually a play, on a Russian communist's name.
Okay.
So then it made it like also very funny the way they edited the name. So the name they gave this guy, this prisoner, this most dangerous criminal in the show is Professor Crackpotten.
Oh God, Crackpotten.
Crackpotten. Great. So Crackpot. Yeah. So basically a little loony, if you will.
Yeah.
But it turns out this is a play on the name Peter Kropotkin. Kropotkin, I think, but said Russianly. So the Russian
Kropotkin.
Like that. That's it. Peter. We're gonna call him Peter.
Who
was a late 1800s, early 1900s Russian communist anarchist.
Wow.
And look, I'm not about to get into the details fully of this man and his apparently extremely influential philosophy. But the TLDR, I read a lot of his Wikipedia page, is that hates capitalism, wants a decentralized communist society with voluntary self-governing communities and collective ownership. He also wrote some of the most influential works on anarchism, communist anarchism, and was here for a social full-on revolution.
Yes.
As you can imagine. This man was absolutely jailed and absolutely exiled from Russia for that.
Especially if you had a platform. It's one thing to just say those things, but to lead other people to.
And lead he did, yes.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well.
He thought he was cute. He thought he was precious.
I thought he was being cute. Thought he was being cute. ended up being a terrorist, perhaps.
Yeah.
But
So again, where's the line of, again, this anarchist
well,
communist just so after the Cold War, and Disney was like, this is fine.
yeah, I guess in Disney's defense, if there is one, like they're not painting him as a good guy, you
Yeah,
know? I
that's
mean,
true. True, true,
but
true.
still, they're painting everyone as a bad. There are no good sides in war.
Exactly.
And
In war,
particularly World War
everybody's a
II.
criminal.
Yeah. So I mean, I
Look
guess
on
they're
me,
like,
look on
yeah,
me. I
but
don't
it's still
know.
not fantastic to see.
It's not a great
It's
look,
not great.
perhaps.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Interesting.
yes, our crackpotten and our
Mm-hmm.
story. Um, yes, he comes from, whatever country that all these warthogs are from. It's different from where Baloo is from. And he
Mm-hmm.
was in jail for a plot that both mirrors his namesake's anti-capitalism, anarchy, and our favorite, perhaps murderous person trait, deep-seated mommy issues.
Oh boy. Uh-oh.
So
Yeah.
apparently, our crackpot was raised by an overbearing mother who kept him
Mm,
under her tyrannical wing his whole life. And it's
mm.
not actually clear if she's still around. It feels like he killed her. Um,
Okay.
because, well, one, her main offense, and this is what he hyper fixated on at least, is that for
Yeah.
every single meal, morning, lunch, dinner, dessert, his entire life, she only fed him horrible, horrible gruel,
Of
which is
course.
why he hates it so much.
Mm.
So,
I mean, I
as
think everyone hates it, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Also, like
But
very Russian, I would say.
very, yes. Bread
So,
lines, gruel
yeah,
lines,
very
anyways.
grim. So, as a revenge for this, and I think part of his political leanings, Crackpot decided that he would explode his country's epicenter of all of the gruel and agriculture that produces the gruel, and thus both punish his mother metaphorically and hopefully incite a social revolution because the peasants are all working at these gruel factories and thus lead to a workers' uprising. But luckily, he was captured, right? Well, I don't know, luckily, unluckily, we're not a political podcast
We're
here.
not here to, yeah, we're
We're
not
not here
taking
to pass
sides.
judgment.
Yeah.
He was captured right before he executed his plot, although, again, I think he did indeed kill his mother as like the first step to
Yeah.
his plot. He's having like a little bit of trouble letting go of all
Yeah.
this situation he's in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
with that, they back at the camp, they go and
Yeah.
raid Crackpotton's room, in which they find the blueprints for the plane, including the recently drawn picture of Baloo flying the plane wearing a dunce hat.
Uh,
Baloo was a pawn
aw.
in Crackpotton's scheme the entire time.
Aw.
Um, and as they look at these blueprints, Colonel Slammer gets a little worried because he
Okay.
realizes that the way this plane was built was using all of the pure gunpowder he's been stealing, which means they're kind of flying a giant firebomb. Oh, and
Yeah.
also Crackpot's original mission was as like a suicide bomber. So they're probably headed right back for the country's Gruel factory as a suicide bombing mission. And they are the bomb. So
Baloo is now going kamikaze. Oh God. Turns that I
so
never anticipated this show to take.
truly, I'm like, again, your last episode and this one, I was like, I did not see. I thought TaleSpin was just gonna be a fun
A little
romp that has
cutesy. Yeah.
cutesy crimes,
Yeah.
the
Oh, it's
occasional
a
Disney
bear.
commentary.
What
It's
is
just a
a
bear who
bear? Yeah,
wants.
he's just a bear.
What's he gonna do?
Apparently suicide bomb a city.
Start a social workers revolution, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
I
after
guess.
after escaping a prison supermax torture camp.
Yeah. But you know what?
That's what sloth bears do.
That's what sunflowers do. But we don't actually have to worry about him being a suicide bomber because the colonel
Yeah.
is like Listen, don't worry about it. I already called our country's entire military, and they're surrounded the factory and they're ready to shoot down the plane at first sight. So,
Well,
it won't be suicide from them running into stuff. They'll be murdered in the sky.
yeah, though exactly over the ocean if all things go well. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
If it all goes according to plan, so we'll just say they crashed at sea.
Yeah.
Wipe the record clean of both of them forever, including from our records here at this prison that doesn't exist according to everyone. Wink. So, we cut to Crackpot and Baloo, who, again, Baloo being a big old dunce. He's none the wiser. He's humming along, being like, Crackpot, are you so excited to see your mom? Like,
we're free. Oh my God.
We broke you out of here just so you can see your mom. You love your mom, don't you?
Wild. This is like straight psycho shit. Again, like we could do multiple episodes just on Crackpotting because this is like a multiple episode explanation of like how he killed his mother growing up, how he's now using her to like get other people to commit crimes, to be like, yeah, I just want to see my mom, ... And Baloo has no clue. He fucking killed his mom.
She's fucking burnt alive in a pot of gruel back at their family home in essentially Siberia.
This is like backstories to horror movies, stuff like this. This is crazy. Anyways.
Yeah. And I really meant it when I said she's probably in a pot of gruel in Siberia because we see them come into the town that Crackpot presumably is from, which is surrounded by snow and nothing else, aka, probably Siberia.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the entire town, there's this very grim looking factory that low-key looks like a nuclear facility. So again, they're really leaning in here to what's going on at the times. Yeah. And yes, we realize that the goal is to slam into this facility that is holding all of the country's gruel that is presumably like milled and processed here. That's the entire backbone of the town. Also probably why he was eating it for every single meal, because it was right there.
That's all that they had. Yeah.
Economical. But we see from below tanks lining up, and they start, of course, to open fire at this little plane. But luckily, unluckily, I guess, Baloo, we know he's great at maneuvering. He's bobbing, he's weaving, he's avoiding all of the shots from the tanks. And Wildcat, Kit, and Becky are able to catch up with them at this point, and they start yelling at Baloo to, like, get the fuck out. This is a suicide mission. Yeah. And Baloo is like, what? Like, there's tank fire everywhere, and he's like, oh, it's so good to see you. We just got to drop him off for his mom's 80th birthday. Then I'll be with you. No problem.
Don't I look good, Becky?
Yeah. He's like posing, flexing a little. He's like, oh, you think that's a gun show below? Check out these guns, Becky.
Yeah, right.
Flexing on her. And so they are nearing this central tower factory situation. And I mean, I guess Crackpot was like, my mom works in there. We're going to go surprise her in there.
Just fly the plane right into her office on the top floor, on the middle floor of this,
of it all.
This refinery. Yep.
And so at this point, they're getting closer and closer and closer to it. And Crackpot, we see, jumps up on the side of the plane. We see he happens to have a little parachute. And also there's a lever that he hid in the back that he pulls, and the rest of the plane, including the engine, falls away, leaving Baloo careening towards the factory here. And I say just Baloo because at this point, this Crackpot jumps off the side of the plane, pulling his parachute, and says, "Goodbye, Gruel world." It's a good one.
You know, he was like, I've been waiting my whole life to say this.
I worked on this plane for about 5 minutes. I worked on that for the 15 years.
My entire life.
Yes.
Literally. Oh, you know what? Good for him.
Baloo is like, wait, I don't think he has a mom.
Oh, Baloo.
Baloo, you dunce. So at this point, he's like, oh, that's why you guys were yelling at me. So he tucks and rolls off of this little plane. And of course, Becky has just swooped underneath, or Wildcat, or whoever's flying.
Yeah.
And he's able to land, yes, right in the sea duct. But as he does this, the plane/flying bomb does slam directly into the factory and explode it still. And
Oh,
all of the gruel is now flooding the village
oh gosh.
that was surrounding it. And we see people running and screaming from their homes. The military is trying to drive away quickly, and the tanks and are also like getting like swamped and like drowned by this gruel.
Yeah.
Crackpot for his part is just standing atop like almost a Napoleon looking statue, like laughing at his victory and being like, this is what I wanted. To basically murder everyone in the town while also destroying the gruel supply. This is going to set up a whole revolution to him.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, okay.
Going the way he planned, frankly.
I guess, yeah, so far, maybe.
Things are coming up crackpot for the first time.
Yeah.
And that's when Baloo realizes that Kit and Wildcat never finished that delivery they were supposed to do because, they realized that Baloo was at a max security prison. And that there's vats and vats and vats and vats of glue, perhaps super glue, in the back of the seaplane here. So they just start dumping the glue everywhere. They start dumping it on the factory itself to like freeze it up. They start dumping it on the town, which is also bad. Like those people are also going to be like, it like freezes Crackpot in place, presumably, I guess, to drown in his own like cask of glue. And
that's an interesting type of glue, but okay. I guess that's why Hire for Hire was delivering it.
Probably they may have been delivering it to that max security prison for torturous reasons.
Yeah, that's possible.
But anyways, then we just cut back to home, and Baloo fits into his brand new tux, and Becky comes out in her gown, and she's like, "Sorry for fat shaming you. I'm really touched that you did all this for me, including, bringing down a terrorist. And it's not on what's on the outside that counts. It's what's on the inside."
Aww.
The end.
Well, better late than never, I guess. Jeez. It would have been nice if she had said that in the first place.
I mean, she's only saying that now because they're going to take her to the ball still.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I can't get another date now, so you look so great, Baloo.
Wow, you look so great. Thanks for killing.
Let's go.
That terrorist, helping him break out of prison for me. Thanks for starting a countrywide workers' revolution, Baloo. You look great. We're gonna be late. Let's go.
Come on, let's go.
It took me so long to get the glue out of my hair.
Episode.
Thank you.
I still don't quite think I understand the glue thing being the fix. I mean, I get it, like, oh, it sticks things in place, but no, it sticks things to other things. It doesn't just like freeze things.
Freeze them. It's not like an anti-freeze situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's unclear, but I think that everyone in that town is dead.
Yeah,
for sure. And I think that this country, this unnamed country, perhaps, we don't know what country actually he's from. I take everything back I've said.
No clue.
Probably just is going to write that off and just, dust it. That town never existed. What factory?
It's a super fun site now. Yeah.
Yeah. A super fun site, if you will. We don't have super fun sites.
No.
You guys can still go and live there. It's fine.
Was it supposed to be like Chernobyl? Was it supposed to be?
Yes, I think it's supposed to be Chernobyl, which is why I also am like, it probably took, 48 hours for this unnamed government to admit what happened here, perhaps?
Exactly. And then be like, we're just going to bury that and move everyone out. The survivors will
get on a bus, take nothing.
Homes.
You'll definitely be back.
Yikes. ...
Yes, I think that was supposed to be Chernobyl. Yes, again, this anarchist communist. Yes, these definitely POW camps, which also, again, I think the unpin from the very beginning of, yes, the Guantanamo vibes, the fact that they called it gruel and unusual punishment made it very American.
Yes.
So anyways, that was an episode of TaleSpin from 1990 for children.
That was not canceled. That was not banned.
Let on the air. They said, to this day, mom. This is family values.
Yeah, these are good values. This is what Disney is about.
Exactly. So,
well, All right. I think you beat me. I think you upped the ante. You sure did. That was leaps and bounds more insane than my episode last week. So
I think it'll just
that sets the bar high for me for next week.
Worse.
It will.
For all of us. Yes. Yep. So anyways, between now and next week, who should our listeners and viewers tell about the show? Face. Traumatized from this episode.
That's a plug to watch our YouTube. Yeah. I just went into like 1,000-yard stare trying to think. I was like, oh my God, anyone I think of is like gonna get us canceled. You should tell a war historian this year, this week about this podcast.
You know what? They'll love the references probably.
They will. Because they'll see them. They'll pick them up immediately. So there's all sorts of fun ones on like TikTok and Instagram. Just tag your favorite war story and let them know.
Perfect.
I know you guys have a short list. Who should they tell?
I think after that, you tell camp counselor. It's a good lesson in what not to do to your campers.
Exactly. Make them feel like they're having fun, not at a prison camp. But at a nice little summer camp. Yeah, YMCA or something.
Yeah, exactly. This is the what not to do example of your summer camp. So great. Well, cool. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on. So just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.